Okay, one of the biggest complaints amongst the fan base, and no, it's not strictly it's not strictly based on the Zach and Fatima writing for season 7. It's the fact that the writers seem to be introducing just one too many babies slash kids into this show. Now, when you look at season 7 and where we are right now, I'm just kind of going through the children that we know of. And keep in mind, some of these kids might not make it in regards to like pregnancies and whatnot. So let's kind of go down the list. Now, when it comes to Sabrina, we know that after she turned 35 in season 7, which is allegedly the age of all the women, which I feel like is canonically not correct. But then again, it could be a retcon. So let's just say, bare minimum, all the women are at least 35, no higher than 36. Now, Sabrina has baby fever, biological clock, all that jazz, and she wants a child to be a mother. And on top of that, she's going through the hormonal maternity procedure that the hospital is having her go through with the needles and stuff like that. So she can have her embryo and eggs frozen, and she needs a sperm donor. So let's put it up on the chart here that Sabrina wants at least one kid. Now, the reason I mentioned Sabrina first is with all the sex that she's been having with Rich in the midst of her hormonal injections. I don't know what the heck it is. I forgot what it was stated to be in the show, but basically she's prepping her body to get pregnant. And the sex with Rich usually is protected, but recently you had the condom scare of it, slipping off mid pump. So it's like, uh-oh, then he's going to reuse that same flimsy condom for the shower sex. So I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I think it is somewhat safe to generally assume that Sabrina is probably going to find out that she's pregnant by Rich by the end of this season, early next season. We could just imagine that after she's, done a certain amount of those injections, she has to go for a checkup to make sure, her body is prepared for, the procedure. But then it's discovered like, Miss Hollins, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're actually already pregnant. What? So I'm going to put Sabrina with one baby with a question mark, like, maybe she's pregnant, maybe she's not. Tamara, when it comes to her affair with Gary, we don't know for certain if it's protected sex, but all the times they've been doing it off screen, on screen, and seemingly every time she gets done with Gary, she tries to, put it on Hayden to kind of get his mind off things whenever he's suspicious. So between having sex with her husband and the affair with Gary, which again, we don't know if it's protected sex or not, I would not be surprised if she gets pregnant at some point, either by Gary and then tries to pin it on Hayden, or she is pregnant by Gary and tries to, I don't know, blackmail him for money or something like that, which is a dumb plan because we saw what he did to his pregnant fiance. Now imagine what he'd do to someone like Tamara. But I'm going to again put a question mark by Tamara, so that's the second baby right there. With Karen, we know she's pregnant with twins, so that's 2 right there. So we're already 4 on the board. 2 theoretical pregnancies and one a pregnancy that has 2 children. And of course, the theory is, well, over the age of 35, her own stress and whatnot she's causing, it's possible that Karen might not actually give birth to both twins and they live. There are all sorts of scenarios that can happen with that, but as of right now, we do know there are 2 babies in her stomach. Fatima, look, folks, in the continuity of Sistas, as where we are right now in season 7, Fatima is not pregnant. Zatima season 3, based off what she said at the end of season 2, she should in fact be pregnant because we do know there's a baby shower in season 4. Now, we don't know if she's pregnant with twins. We just know that she is allegedly pregnant in Zatima. So I'm going to put the number 1 with air quotations around it because the whole, is Zatima continuity the same as Sisters continuity? Yeah, la 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 la. I'm not here to debate that. I'm just talking about the characters in Sisters that we know may or may not have a kid. Now, also, let's just say for simplicity's sake, look, Jeremy, we're talking about sisters, and like you just said, we know for a fact she isn't pregnant. Okay, but still has one kid. She's a stepmom to Michael, so technically that's one kid. So we're up to 5. Asterisk 6 if you think she's pregnant. And then we get to Danny, who is not pregnant, but she is quote unquote acting as a mother to Tony's children. So, folks, that's either 8 or 9 kids, however you want to slice it. Sabrina maybe being announced to be pregnant. Tamara maybe being announced to be pregnant from all of her sexcapades. Karen with twins, that's 4. Fatima, Michael, that's 5. Or if you want to say, well, I'm counting Zatima's pregnancy. Then Fatima, we're up to 6. And then 2, Danny having the 2 kids already come with Tony. So yeah, I feel like it is safe to say that there are just way too many scenarios in this show that involve children, babies, or potential pregnancies. At what point are we just going to put a cap on how many, child characters could be introduced to the show? Because it's just getting ridiculous at this point. I mean, I'm more invested in these characters in terms of potential development, career goals, potential relationship, evolution, like where they're going with their current, boyfriends and stuff like that, as opposed to why does everybody have to be like pregnant at the same time? Or, why are we getting all these storylines where, oh, this person's pregnant, but we're not 100% on who the baby daddy is. It's just crazy to me that we could potentially be introducing so many more pregnancies into this show when fans have made it clear, like, look, y'all just ran the Karen thing into the ground. We've been over this pregnancy for years. And look, I'm not dogging sisters for the whole Karen's been pregnant for years thing, considering that if you look at the haves and the have-nots, Melissa was pregnant for way longer and she was never showing. So I'm not going to, complain about sisters like that when the haves and the have-nots is guilty of that sin for an even longer amount of time. But when it comes to sisters, it's just that we're beyond over this particular plot point. So why in the world do we want to see a storyline where Sabrina is trying to get pregnant, yet she's dating a dude who doesn't want kids? What about Danny dating a guy who already comes with 2 preteens? Then you have Tamara who's jumping around. I mean, to be honest, the whole Hayden, Gary, Tamara thing, that's more interesting to me than most of these other main character storylines, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, when it comes to, all of this baby stuff, it's just not it. I feel like, again, so many fans have said, you know what, look, we don't want to deal with this baby stuff. And yet the writers, and Tyler to an extent, I don't know how much involvement he has now, but hey, who knows? Regardless, it's like, if one particular pregnancy with Karen has annoyed fans because of how long it's been going on, what made these people think that, I know, why don't we write some of these other characters to be pregnant too? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. What? How long before fans are going to be complaining about Sabrina not having a baby bump, or Fatima and Zatima not having a baby bump? And the list goes on. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that there's just one too many babies or children involved with the characters in the show? For me, I'm just over these random pregnancies. It's just, when is it going to end? But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.